In this Learn It Quick video, we're going to take a look at one of the Release 26 enhancements, which was the ability to debug form requests. Now, that's a little confusing, but it's really an enhancement to the Orchestrator. And before, we had an issue with when we're looking at form requests where we would only see something fail, a form request fail, and it wouldn't tell us what form it's on. So we're going to go into the Orchestrator and take a look and see what this looks like. So here is an orchestration I have created here. And if you've worked with the Orchestrator in the past, you'll know that if you come into a form request and you take a look at it, you can have several or many forms that are associated with your form request. Okay, so this one happens to have 3 different forms, and there happens to be multiple steps on each one of these forms. Well, the problem is that we can't tell when we're in debug trying to decipher what our problem was. So if I come inside of the Run Orchestrations window, I've got an orchestration set up here to run. I have a set of inputs, but right now I have a specific field left empty so we can get an error and take a look and see what happens. So when I click on debug, this takes us into the debug window, and there's a big difference here. Is you'll look and see now next to each of the form requests, it'll have a 0 of 3 or 1 of 4. However many forms there are, it'll be the second number, and the first number will be what form is actually processing on. And on the right-hand side of the screen, where we have our debug orchestration tools here, this new button has been added, and it says step into. Basically means we're stepping into each form of the form request. So before, we would just go ahead and click on step forward, and if I do that on this orchestration, you can see this first item shows 3 of 3 and has failed. What this doesn't show you is that it's really not telling you what form it failed on, and you'd have the wrong information if you believed it failed on the 4th form. Because if I come over here and I click on the step through icon, it's going to start. Now it shows me the first form passed. Now it shows the second form failed. That is where the actual error is. Then we can read the message over here in this window as well. So you can do that for each of your form requests, and it gives you a lot more detailed information of where you're having problems with your setup for your orchestrations. So that's the latest enhancement for debug inside of the Orchestrator Studio.